What's going on YouTube? Trucking Life here one more time, guys. Guys and gals and girls and girls. Yeah. Anyway, today's video, guys, is gonna be about these are 4 things that owner operators get in trouble with. You know, I don't know how I really don't know how to title this video. I don't even know what the title of the video gonna be. I just know I want to touch on this because I know a lot of owner operators that have fell victim to this, what I'm about to name on here. And these some things you could do to kind of survive a little longer. Even if you don't make it, you know what I'm saying? Even if you don't make it in the game of being an owner operator, and you get after the fact, if you don't take care of these while you're doing it, it could catch up with you when you out the game. One thing is like having a really good accountant. This goes along with taxes. Because what a lot of guys that was owner operators, what they did was they ran up a lot of tax bills. They end up losing the business because they figure they'll play catch up with the taxes by the time they get out the game. And they don't, so sometimes they end up owing taxes when they don't have the business no more. But guess what? You still owe the taxes on that. So a good thing to have is a really good account. You gotta have a real good accountant. Look for a transportation accountant or tax preparer. Somebody that knows transportation taxes, because it's a different. You can't get. I wouldn't go to H&R Block or JL Hughes, whatever them love commercialized tax preparers, unless you know somebody there who understands ins and out of tax businesses. Get you a transportation tax accountant. That way when they do it, they know how to all the write-offs that transportation get, because transportation got different type of write-offs because they go sometimes between state lines and miles and then per diem and all that good stuff that come along with it. But if you get somebody who don't understand that and they just file you regular like everybody else, especially if you're an owner operator, man, you might end up owing more. You might not get all the tax benefits or the tax advantages you have as a business owner, you know what I'm saying? So that's very important. So you don't want to end up out the game owing more, and then you trying to play catch up when you ain't got the business no more. The taxes don't care if you don't got the business no more. You owe them, you got to pay. So they want their money. Another thing I'll touch on this on a couple other videos, lifestyle creep. You don't want to let your lifestyle creep up to the point where in case this thing, you know what I'm saying, things get a little tight, you don't necessarily have to, you ain't gonna sweat as much, you know what I'm saying, because things getting tight. Lifestyle creep is, I'll probably put a definition on the screen. That's when your living expenses and everything start creeping up slowly but surely, and eventually you burying yourself alive and you don't even know it. It's like The Walking Dead, pretty much. It's only a matter of time. But that happens so subtly, like I put in other videos about a lot of owner operators, they don't want to get up, they can't get out the game because, you know, lifestyle creeping creeped in and creeped them out. You know what I'm saying? So you want to be real careful with that, man. If you could live under 50% of your income, I know people get on these YouTube videos, especially these so-called gurus, and saying, man, you know, live off 20% of your income. Man, if you at like 80% or 90% of your income and you own a truck, actually, if you 80-90% of your income and you don't even own a truck, you just period, you are like one slip away from being, let's just say, in a problem sheet. You know what I'm talking about? You got problems. So, especially if you're an operator, make sure that you keep your expenses low. Keep everything low. And you got to think at least 5-10 years ahead, because if you don't, if you just make a decision off of times when they're good, you're going to bury yourself. Another thing too is maintenance. Now, with the maintenance, I did a video on how to maintain a truck without going broke. A lot of guys don't know the basics of that. If you didn't watch that video, go back and watch it. This is how you build up your good team and how you maintain your mule without actually going out the door backwards. Because a lot of mechanics can put truckers out of business, especially owner operators. They can put you out of business a couple ways: by price gouging, markup on prices. They can put you out of business by holding your truck hostage too long, and now you trying to play catch up when you finally get out of the shop. You hoping nothing else breaks, because if it do, you gotta make a decision: do I run with it broken? Is it runnable, or can I put it back in the shop? It's been some guys I know, they trucks been in the shop so long that they fell so far behind because of that I know one guy, he just left his truck in the shop. He just left it. He ain't ever come back for it. Because it's just like, once you start losing, once you start sinking to the point where you're trying to maintain that thing and you ain't got a good team, man, it'll bury you. It will bury you. It's been guys that had their trucks stuck at the shop because they can't pay to get it out, because they don't understand how to like really maintain it without going broke. They ran up a bill, they couldn't pay the bill, so the shops held it hostage until you came up with the money. And sometimes they came up with the money, sometimes they didn't. But either way it go, you want to maintain a truck smart. I'll just say that. Another thing too, play the fuel game. I did a video some years ago how to play the fuel game. Now with this right here, I always get backlash, man. That, you know, some people say, well, you know, you shouldn't do this, you can't do that, blah 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 blah. Look, I did it for years, man. When I exhausted all my avenues of trying to make it in this business, I was out. But I definitely played the fuel game. Fuel is meant to be burned, not to sit. That's my motto. Even in the winter time, I leave it just enough fuel to keep it from freezing. But I'm not finna have a full tank of fuel just sitting. It's been guys I know, they fill up every chance they get, they just fill it all the way up. And then they go try to do a run. The run canceled, now they sitting on a full tank of fuel. Now they hoping they got to see some other crash course type of lows just to kind of break even because they got all this fuel sitting there. Or I seen some guys, they fill up because they don't like their tanks running low, which I get it, I understand it. The money is there and it's plentiful, fill up, man. By all means, fill up. If it's a tax advantage, fill up. If it's one of them things where, you know, you got the money, extra money's laying around to fill up, fill up. But if your money's scarce, man, you better fuel according to your runs. I mean, fuel according to your runs. Keep enough fuel in that truck to keep it from going dry. Because I did this video with some tubes in your truck. Don't ask me how, I know. But there's some tubes in there. It's I think it's 2 tubes. One pulling fuel out, one pushing fuel back in, excess fuel. As long as your tanks don't run below that, you good. Because if you go below that, you start sucking air, now you sucking all the soot at the bottom of the tanks. But anyway, I ain't saying run to the bone dry. I am saying though, you want to be smart with your fuel game. If you get like half a tank or 3/4 of a tank to half a tank, just because you at a truck stopping and the fuel is low, I'm finna fill up right quick. I'm here. Might as well get this fuel. It's cheap here. Man, make your money off that tank of fuel first. That's my mindset. Some people like, man, I'm at 3/4 of the tank, I'm almost full, but I'm passing by the truck stop. This fuel is pretty cheap. I might as well fill it up. I'm gonna top it off while I'm here. Then it gets in when it gets stuck. And now they pay extra for fuel, and now they just sitting there with a full tank of fuel or 3/4 tank of fuel after they burned off what they just put in, and they ain't got no work to burn off the rest of the fuel. So that's what I'm saying. Fuel will bring a lot of people down. Now everybody don't believe this. Everybody, this is an unconventional way. But I'm telling you, if you guys don't do this, man, I'm telling you, this business is, man. You gotta remember, it's a business, man. And anytime you gotta shave some costs, cut some costs, or try to be smart about money moving, you gotta be smart about it to last long. If you don't do it, you're gonna be out of business, man. And don't fall into that trap of having fuel cards like on your own, where you like run up credit on it. I knew one guy specifically, and I don't know if he's watching this video, but man, he ran up that fuel bill so high. But what happened was they ran him credit, and he thought he better run and make it back. He had an okay account, you know what I'm saying? And when he was running, he was filling up. What he was doing was he'll fill up all month. At the end of the month, he'll pay the full bill. In case you guys don't know how high fuel prices could get, how high the fuel bill could get. The fuel bill could get to the point where so it's some guys spending $1,600, $2,000 a week in fuel. There's some guys doing more than that a week in fuel. So you figure $2,000, $8,000 to $10,000 a month. So you running all month, hoping you make that 10 grand back for your fuel, just to pay at the end of the month. Some guys fall short. I never ran like that. I had opportunity to get like credit fuel cards. I didn't take it. I used the company fuel card, but I did according to per week. I didn't let the bill pile up to the end of the month. I would never. That was just not my thing. Now, if you got like a major fleet, like I gonna say a major fleet. Let's say you got like 5 to 10 trucks or something like that, and you probably own like a net 90 or something, or net 60 or net 30. Then yeah, you might want to do that because you need the money to float you along. Your money can't be opportunity cost. It can't be tied up in the tanks. You might have to make some other money moves on this side, but your money tied up over here. So you need that credit to float you along. But for a small person who just probably 1 truck or maybe 2, I wouldn't recommend that, because you mess around, your truck going to shop or some calamity or something happen, you will have problems. Now you're trying to dodge the fuel people, and they gonna try to come and get you, man. All I'm saying is this, guys. Look, if you do own a truck, make sure that you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, find somebody who know what they're doing and mimic them. I say it all the time, I'm gonna leave it on this video. I'm gonna leave it at the end of this video. It's been people that came in as company drivers, became owner operators. They left out worse than when they came in after being an owner operator. They left out worse financially, mentally, and physically. Some people actually got physically sick because they're so buried in like debt, and just people own shops. They owe everybody. They owe the taxes, they owe shops, they personal bills. Everything is out of control because things just went real crazy. When they first got into the business, they only own their personal expenses. They ain't have the bills of a truck. They ain't have the bills of shops. They ain't have no fuel bill. They ain't have no maintenance bill of a truck. They ain't have none of that. And let alone the quarterly tax, the IFTA and the 2290 and man, tolls, tires, you name it. They didn't have all that. So when they came into the business, they didn't have the mindset of, okay, this is a business. They came to the mindset of, I'm finna make $1,000, at least $1,500 more than I'm making now as a company driver. I'm finna get in, run the road up, burn it up, and I'm gonna make my money moves. And the money moves, everything has a sacrifice. I just say that everything has a trade-off, and if you don't know what your trade-off is, you're gonna have problems. But anyway, YouTube, hope this video is helpful, give you a little understanding of what's going on around here. I'll see you guys in the video. Peace.